friends. Welcome to Hudson Valley Knits Podcast. I'm Amy, also known as Memers on Ravelry, and Memers66 on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for joining me. So I have a great show for you. Today I have works in progress to show you, one finished object. I have some stash enhancements to show you. And I also have a little spinning talk to go over with you. Big thing is I have a giveaway winner for the Gift Along Knit Along to announce. And, anything else? Just some little nitty chatter for the end. So, and it's Sunday night here. It's Sunday, January 12th. And it's Downton Abbey night. So I'm going to make this short and sweet, and that probably won't go up till Monday because after I'm done recording, my husband and I are going to watch Downton Abbey. So, sorry guys, that's the way it goes now. You have to wait till Monday. But I probably, after the show, will also send a PM to the winner to let them know that they're the winner. Oh, and I should have grabbed the skein to show you one last time. I forgot to grab that. All right, so let's start right away with the giveaway winner. I actually drew the number in advance. I just think it just takes up too much time doing it during the show, so I did it ahead of time. And there were 42 entries, less mine, of course. And I drew number 41, who is Mommy Debbie. And she knit a drops hat for her daughter. So congratulations, Mommy Debbie. I'll send you a PM. And you can send me your address, and I'll get that out to you this week. And congratulations, and thank you everybody for participating. It was really exciting to get that kind of participation, being as I'm such a new podcast and all. And I really thank you all from the bottom of my heart for taking and participating. So that's great news. I'm very excited about that. I have another knit along kind of thing going, and as you all might know, I've kind of dubbed it the Love Along, and it's the knitting of the washcloths for my beloved seniors. And long and short of it is basically I did some volunteer work with my department at work. We went to the Salvation Army at Christmas time and did some volunteer work. And they go and visit nursing homes at Christmas time, and they asked us to bundle together some gifts that they would hand out. And I was very kind of saddened by the quality of the gifts, and I wanted to arrange to give the seniors something a little more thoughtful and loving. So I thought, what better thing than we could all knit some dishcloths for them. So go to the group, Hudson Valley Knits group, and I have a finished object thread set up now where we can all post our finished objects. There's a lot there already, and I'm so excited. I also have a chatter thread, but I also had a great idea. And, you know, I know there's so much. This is like a cool thing because you can take out any stitch dictionary and practice any stitch pattern you want. And you can use this as a way to play around and swatch. Like if you want to make something for yourself, swatch it out and see how it looks and play with it that way. And what I'm going to do, which I'm so excited, I can't believe I thought of this. Well, I thought of this, but somebody would have. I don't know if you're like me, but I am participating in a lot of craftsy classes. And I am in the brioche one, I am in the double knitting one, I am in the entrelac one, and I just signed up when it was on sale, the $10 one, with the woman from Lion Brand, and I'm sorry, but the name is escaping me now. It's one of the best classes that I've taken on Craftsy. She teaches you different knitting techniques. And I'm using my current swatch to practice the knitting techniques that she's been teaching, which is the Portuguese knitting and the Eastern and Western knitting styles. So I am currently knitting a washcloth using the knitting through the back loop and purling from the back. It's supposed to be a more efficient way to knit, and I figured that here's my opportunity to play around and practice all these techniques. So I do plan on knitting, and you don't have to be in a craftsy class to do this. If you want to try cables, go on YouTube and learn some cable techniques, or just practice it. And then, or you can learn brioche, you could learn entrelac, all these things that way, and practice them on your swatches. So, and I intend to practice knitting backwards too. So I'm really excited about this. It's a great way to play around with learning new knitting skills, and it's for a great cause. So that's my love along for seniors. So I hope you participate. Quite a few people PM me and ask me what to do with the washcloths. I really have to ask you to hang on to them until towards the end of the year. I just have no place to store them here. And to be honest with you, I live in an old house, and if I put things away in closets, sometimes they get mildewy, and I just don't want to have to worry about that. So please hang on to them for me. And I haven't got a chance to ask this woman from the Salvation Army if we can just mail them there, because she was out sick last week, but hopefully she'll call me this week and we can find out. We might even be able to send them right to her. But we'll see. But for the meantime, please just hang on to them, knit away, have fun, learn new stitch patterns, learn new knitting techniques. Maybe if you want, I could teach one to you or something. Let me know if you'd be interested in doing that. We can all do a washcloth together where we're learning brioche together. I've never done it, and so we'd all be learning together. So let me know if that sounds like fun. And I'm going to take a sip of my coffee out of my Rhinebeck mug. Actually, the hotter Rhinebeck mug. So that is my news. I'm sorry, am I talking too fast? Oh, and speaking of talking, thank you everyone. Last week, a lot of people said that, and I should probably speak louder, that it was hard to hear me, and I apologize for that. I'm actually, as you know, I got new lights, and you can actually see them in my glasses shining on me. Sorry about that. So I moved my podcast downstairs instead of up in my bedroom, where it's very dark, and so I'm not using my computer webcam. I'm using my iPhone to record, and I think because I have it on a tripod and it's farther away, that you might have problems hearing me, and I'm really sorry. I'm actually kind of looked into some microphones for this, and it's a bit of money and that I just don't have to invest right now, and so I don't know. We'll see what I'll try and invest in a microphone, but right now it's got to wait. I'm kind of broke because of Christmas, and I'm going to Vogue Knitting Live this coming weekend rather. And what money I do have, I want to spend there. So yeah, maybe February or maybe even beginning of March I'll be able to afford the extra expense. But right now I got to get my credit cards back down from Christmas and all that stuff. So bear with me. I'm going to try and speak up louder in the meantime. So I think that's it for news. I am going to Vogue Knitting Live, as you heard me just mention, with my friend Sandy, and I'm hoping to meet up with a lot of other people there. Subway Knits, Maria from Subway Knits, and Kim from Craft Stash have this. There's a meetup thread going on in Subway Knits, and I think I'm going to shoot for that, as long as it doesn't coincide with the fashion show, because I want to see the fiber. Oh, what do they call it? The fiber. Oh, shoot, what's? I'm drawing a blank. Hold on, I gotta look it up now. It's the one where Cassell is doing the challenge. Fiber Factor. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I'm sorry. They're doing the fashion show for the final 4 contestants. And I just can't wait to see it. I saw all the stuff up until the point when I went to Stitches East. And it really, just as with most other things, the garments are so much more beautiful in person. So I can't wait to go to Vogue Knitting Live this year in New York. And my friend Sandy and I are sharing a room. We're going to stay overnight. Usually we just go down for the day. We drive down. We're not even an hour away from the city. And yeah, but this year, because Sandy and I are both taking a Sunday morning class, we decided to rent the room. This way we can go down Saturday, and we usually go out for dinner afterwards anyway. We can throw all our stuff in our room, and we can take a little poke siesta after we're done shopping, and then we can head out to the town and just have a great time. My friend Sandy is always lots of fun. I'm sure I'll have some pictures to show you. I don't know if I'm going to be podcasting next weekend. You know what? I probably will, because I really love doing this. But I probably won't be home till late on Sunday. I'm taking a Sunday morning class, and I'll probably want to stay for a little while afterwards. I don't know. I might just take the class and go, but we'll see what's going on, right? Maybe we'll hang out in the lobby for a while and knit with other knitters. Before I go on to whips, I just wanted to show you my hat. I never really showed this on the podcast because when I finished it, I was upstate New York at my mother's house. And she kind of like said, I'd really love to have this hat, and I left it up there with her. So all I showed you up until now were pictures. And my mom was down this weekend. Her and Pa came down because we have my father's cousin's wife is in the hospital, and they came down to visit her, which was really nice. But her pom-pom was leaking, if you will, like this. It was too loose, and this is slippery alpaca, and it's super soft alpaca. She asked me if she could get a fresh pom-pom, so she left it here with me, and they went to visit his cousin Angela, and then they went to visit my sister-in-law, and you know, the rounds, and they never came back here to get her hat. So I'm wearing the hat, and this is the, oops, let me get my show notes. This is the Snow Cap hat by Rosemary Hill. And it's made with pure 100% alpaca and a bulky weight from 6-pack of farms in Connecticut. I got it at my knitting guild. They came, and I bought it there, and I love this yarn. All right, so time for the works in progress. Not a lot of new stuff, and actually not a lot of project, because I spent a lot of time this week working on my my pattern write-up. I made a lot of changes because as I knit it, and so I had to make a lot of changes to the pattern as I had written it up to that point. So not a whole heck of a lot of knitting. I did some spinning, and I washed some fibers and stuff like that, but I'll show you what I got, even though the progress is minimal. Here's my Event Horizon shawl by Donna Draconis, and it is coming along all right. I've only done like 3 or 4 rows of this since you've last seen it. So not much to show here, but I really, really, really love this pattern. And I love the needles they're on. And I went ahead and ordered a pair of 40-inch signature needles to knit this with when it gets too big for these Hayahayas. So, but I don't know, they're knitting up so beautifully on the Hayahayas that I might just leave them on here and put the 40-inch cord for the interchangeables on. But yeah, this is String Theory Yarns, Caper yarn, sock yarn. It's delectable cashmere blend, and a great pattern, and the knit along has been so much fun. So loving this in my Joanna Springs bag. One of my favorite bags. I love it. All right. Next we have, what have we gotten here? Oh, well, not much to show again, like I said. Not a lot of progress on stuff, but I did, though you can't tell, work a lot of rounds on this, but we're still in the raw, the straight knitting. But my Carson throw did get a little love this week, and I'm keeping track of my rows on my oak tag. And then, the socks for Joey. What did I do with Joey's socks? Oh, here they are. This is in my tangerine design bag. My son was up this weekend. He did a lot of work for me around the house. So I actually I have a sub pump in my basement that pumps water outside. Like I said, again, very old house, and we have to pump water out of the house all the time. And it kind of goes up and out the house into the dry well, and well, it cracked in the cold, and it was basically the water was pumping out of my house and just like pouring over into my neighbor's yard underneath their oil tank, and they're like freaking out. So they stopped by Friday, and they showed me what was happening. So I went downstairs and I unplugged it, the sub pump, and it's like not super wet down there, but it's got like a little, I don't know if you're familiar with the old house, it's got like a little kind of well, I guess you would say. And it's really just water seeps into the house and you pump it right back out. It's like a root cellar kind of cellar. Anyway, I went down a little while later just to check on it because I'm really not sure how much water it pumps out every day. And it was like filled to the top. And then I went down like another 3 hours later, and it was like a big puddle. So I'm like, I gotta turn this back on. I plugged it back in. It all pumped out, and it was nighttime. And then we got up in the morning. I had to go somewhere, and I told the kids, and my neighbors are relatives, so it's my uncle, my Aunt Rose and Uncle Bill live next door. It's actually the house that my father grew up in, and that's his sister and brother-in-law live there. And apparently while I was out, they came over, and when I got home, the kids told me that Uncle Bill was not happy. And I'm like, well, and I told them, tell him the basement was flooding. Well, and how did I get on this tangent anyway? Anyway, Joey was up. He fixed that for me. He fixed the pipe. And he did some other work around the house for me. But while I was here, I had him try on the sock I finished. And he loved it. He said it fit perfectly. And here, so you could see about how far I've come, is where I am on the second sock. It's not perfectly aligned, but I told you all the finagling I had to do to get these, at least to pattern the same, because it's patent Croix sock yarn. And the second skein didn't start the same way the first one did. So I kind of used some that I had left over from the first one, and then I switched. That's why I have all these ends here that I'm going to have to sew in, which I don't mind doing at all. But that's, going slowly but surely. These needles are still stabbing me left and right, driving me crazy, but I love knitting with them. They're the square needles by, begins with a K. I can't remember. And they just stab me again. Why can't I remember the name of them? The square needles. I will put it in the show notes. I will look it up and put it in the show notes. So that's Joey's socks, slowly but surely coming along. I think I got another color repeat. Oh, and so I did start, like I was mentioning before, I have one washcloth on the needle. So this is how I know it's the front. It's a basic, really, it's like purl 3, knit 3 on a diagonal, nothing fancy. And I have been practicing is it Eastern or Western knitting, but it's kind of like where you knit to the back loop. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. So basically, instead of knitting and going in from the front like this, I am going in through the back, like when you get the instructions to knit through the back loop and it turns the stitch, I'm knitting through the back loop each time. And then same with the purl, I'm purling through the back loop. And just to see kind of how it feels and looks and to practice it. And actually, I'm not liking the way it looks, and I don't know if it's the way I'm doing it. As a comparison, down here, this was all done regular. You can see it. I can't see what you see, so I'm just guessing. But then as you go up, you can see they're kind of they got kind of a twist to them. I don't know if, and I gotta check the video again, but you can definitely see the difference. These are flatter, and these are kind of bumpy. The pearls, not so much, but the knit, you can definitely see it. So anyway, it's still going to be a great washcloth. It's a blue one. And hopefully next time I'll be working on a different one. So that's my washcloth. And that's been getting a lot of love. I started that just a couple of days ago. So, and lastly, I wanted to show you something I'm kind of excited about. So, on Instagram, one of the ladies that I follow and follows me posted up a pair of socks, and I saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh, those are beautiful, I love them. And she said, thank you, it's my own design. And I'm like, when you publish this, let me know, because I want to knit those socks. And so she asked me if I would test knit them, and it was her first and she told me it's her first pattern, and I agreed to. So this is I just cast them on today. I got the pattern from her on Friday, I think Friday. I love this color. So it's really just the cuff, and she's calling it, and she said I could talk about it on my podcast, by the way. Okay, it's called The Krakatoa Socks by Amelia Putri, and she's Poppy Poot, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, on Ravelry. So that's who she is. She is Amelia Put on Instagram, and it's a beautiful lace pattern. If you're on Instagram, check it out because it's really beautiful. It's a great pattern, and I can't wait to knit them up. I am knitting them on Malabrigo, and the color name is Candombe. It's beautiful blues and dark grays and purples, and it's just almost like a stormy colors. It's just beautiful. Even like hints of green. I love this color. I actually have 2 skeins of it. I love it so much. And I thought it would be a beautiful yarn to knit this up with. So I am like really super mad excited about this. And this is in my brand new Fat Squirrel bag. I love her bags. And Amy, I'm still waiting for my Aran weight bag in the perfect fabric. Now, if you had made Aran sweater bags in this, I would have been the happiest girl in the world, but you didn't. And I'm not into the Doctor Who, so this update, no go. Come on, Amy Beth, make me happy. All right, so that is it with my works in progress. I'm going to skip finish objects and do that later, and I think you'll know why, because I'm wearing it and it's kind of something I'm excited about, but I'll get to that in Knitty Talk. Spinning. Okay, so I showed it to you on the bobbin, but I gave it a soak. I did chain plying for the first time, and I just figured I'd show you how that came out. I brought that down. I found that soaking it didn't make that much of a difference, and I'm happy with it for my first chain plying. I'm really happy with it, but I'm looking forward to getting better at it. How's that? That's a good view. You can see some of it's way too tight, and some of it looks really nice. But you know what? I wear it proudly. Oh, it's stuck in my pom-pom. Look at that. Ah, the tack of a chain ply yarn. I wear it proudly. I love it. So this got a bath, and yeah, it's all right. I'm working on it. I'm going to just keep going and get better and better. And you know what? I'm not going to let the fact that my other fiber is super duper beautiful and I'm not spin worthy yet. I'm just going to do it because it's my fiber and I'll apply if I want to. Apply if I want to. Oh, speaking of ply, I was at my spinning meetup last week and I talked about it and I told you I went online and I ordered the Ply magazine and I got the 2 back issues. And I sat up to, I was laid in bed till like midnight. The first night I got reading the one in color and chain plying. And this magazine is the bomb. I haven't started looking at the woolen spun one, but woolen drafting is something that I've wanted to do. I've tried it a couple of times and it is a booger for me. I have a hard time, there's no doubt. So, yeah, I'll be doing more woolen drafting soon, but I gotta read all these. The articles are just so helpful. The pictures are so well done. The way, you know, when you're showing instructional, when you're taking pictures and they're supposed to be instructional, it's hard to get a good shot that kind of really shows what you need to do, but this magazine does it, and the photography is amazing and beautiful. Hats off to the creators and all the people that have worked on these magazines. So this is it probably till, I'm sorry, my bird's making a lot of noise. He wants some attention. Yes, he's talking to himself. And sorry, I can't help that. So that's it with spinning. Not a whole heck of a lot. I do have some new stash to show you. So first I'll show you Birdie. Hey. I'm sorry. Doesn't it sound beautiful to you? Last week I think I mentioned that I had ordered some Miss Babs yarn to make the Pumpkin Ale Sweater by Isalda back in October. And I was not happy with the color, so, oh my God, hold on. I'm really sorry. This is going to be Birdie. Stop it. Please. So anyway, I got my replacement yarn finally. Lickety split after I make that phone call. It was mailed out to me right away. It's pewter and it's gorgeous, and oh, my new lights show it off so well. It's a beautiful gray blue. It's more gray than blue, but it has just enough blue that you really, it's just going to be stunning. I can't wait to knit this up, but it's going to wait until after my husband's sweater is done. Hold on 1 second. I got to take care of this. Hey. Love it. Sorry. I'll try and edit that out, but he can be really noisy once he gets his face in front of a mirror and he thinks there's another bird to play with. He just starts singing and you can't stop it unless you distract him from the mirror. And I've got no place to put him. Actually, I could put him in the kitchen next time. I'll put him in the kitchen next time. I'm really sorry for that distraction. He just said he's sorry too. My other stash enhancement came as a really wonderful, sweet surprise. And after this, I'm going to segue into Knitty talk because they're kind of linked. There's another knitting group that it's not a matter of belonging. My group is open, their group is open, but I never make it there. It's called the Croton Gabbin Knit. And I just, at the spur of the moment, actually, both my kids were here and they were fighting. So I'm like, you know what, I gotta get out of the house. They're driving me nuts. So I went and I said, I'm gonna crash the Croton Gabbin Knit at the Black Cow in Croton. And I went over there and they were having their holiday party, which they decided to do after Christmas because everybody is so busy at Christmas time. And they welcomed me with open arms. Everybody brought food and stuff, which the Black Cow, which is a coffee house, they allowed them to bring some food in for their party, which was really nice of them. And they did a gift exchange. Everybody pulled a name and bought a gift for someone, and people brought extra gifts just in case other people that didn't know about it showed up. Everybody could get a gift. And I just thought that was so wonderful. I tried to go buy a gift card just to contribute something, and they were adamant that that's silly, you don't have to do that. And so I got a gift just for being there. And I got this beautiful skein of Madeline Tosh Light. The colorway is called Antique Lace. It's a beautiful neutral color which will offset just about any. I have a lot of this in my stash, and it will be beautiful. So I thank you to the Croton Gabbin Knit at the Black Cow. I will say right now too, they meet every Sunday. They meet during the week, but I, work. Some of these ladies, a lot of these ladies don't work. They're retired, or they're housewives or stay-at-home moms or whatever. But they do meet every Sunday, and I think it's from 12:30 to 2:30 at the Black Cow in Croton. And it's not that far from the Croton train station. So if you're in New York City and you'd like to come up for the Croton Gabbin Knit, I'm sure we could work it out that someone could pick you up at the Croton Harmon station. So if you're interested, except for next weekend, because next weekend I'll be at Vogue, send me a PM. I'll pick you up at the train. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal at all. You can come hang out. You come early if you want. Make a whole day of it. I'll hang out with you. No problem at all. So, I wanted to shout out also to the organizer of that group is Deborah Tomasello, and she has a Ravelry shop called Patchworks by Debbie, and she does beautiful Fair Isle design. So go check out her Ravelry store. It's gorgeous, and she has a ebook that she self-published about Fair Isle knitting, and it's worth checking out. She's a fabulous knitter. She's amazing, and she's just got a great creative mind. So that's Patchworks by Debbie, D-E-B-I, and I'll link it in the show notes. All right. So a little bit of Knitty talk. The big news this week is I finished my Against the Current shawl, and that is my finished obit. If you watched last week, I told you that I had one more row and had to bind off. Well, by the after the show, I watched Downton Abbey, and by the end of Downton Abbey, I was done with the shawl. And here it is. And I'm so in love with it. So this is the big version. Excuse me, made with Madeline Tosh sock and the colorway Worn Denim. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. I just love it I love the color. I love the way the yarn knit up. I love the border. I think looking at it, I would have added, I have like this border where it's just like the knit three together and then the yarn over so that it kind of has a little bit of a scallop to it. I think I would have made that a little more pronounced if I were to do it over. And the pattern allows for you to decide how long you want to make that. So there are instructions. You could do it until you run out of yarn if you like that look. So this is what I've been working on all week, is adjusting the pattern. I found some mistakes myself when I was knitting up this version. So I had to fix the charts a little bit, and then I knit up the directions. And I felt that my first draft was actually too detailed. I think I was trying to make something that really was kind of simple, too confusing. So I redid the pattern, and right now I had to redo the charts. So now I have to get those into a PDF format and get those attached, and then I will send them off to the tech editor if she's, and hopefully she's not too backed up with work right now. I have test knitters, and I actually, Lost City Denise from Lost City Yarns has donated a skein to use for the test knitting of her Pathway sock yarn, which should be here shortly. I'm really excited about that. That was really cool of her, and I actually believe that her sock yarn is very generous, 500 plus yards. You might be able to make a large size version shawl with that one skein of her yarn, so which would be really cool. So she's sending that, and she's going to surprise me with the color. I can't wait to see what she sends. So that's the news with the shawl. So hang tight if you want to knit this. I'll have the pattern up hopefully sooner rather than later, but I do have to wait for the test knitters to complete it. And I've never used test knitters before, so I have no idea how fast they're going to be. I can only hope that they'll get it done fairly quickly. So that is the big news for this week. I do have some other stuff I wanted to talk about. It's not really knitting related, but it is because knitting is a big part of my life. But I wanted to share with you something I did Saturday. I have a group of girlfriends that I get together with not too frequently, like a couple of times a year we get together. I don't know. I guess a little background is, I don't know if you know, but I do read tarot cards. I'm about as passionate with tarot as I am about knitting, and have been reading tarot cards for years. And one of my friends from the tarot community, we would do psychic fairs up over where she lives in Goshen, New York. And that's how I met this group of ladies. We still do the fairs every now and then. But on top of that, we get together. We are like-minded women. We're all like kind of in the same age group, 40s, 50s. Either we're empty nesters or kind of on the cusp of being empty nesters. So we have kids around the same age, and we get together and we just share what we're going through, what our dreams are, what our desires are. We share our dark secrets with each other. It's like we get together and there's no judgments. There's love and support. There's comfort if you need it, if you're going through a hard time. I can't tell you how amazing these get-togethers are. And we got together Saturday, and what was kind of special about it, my friend Ellen Mary, who has, if you're interested in tarot, she has the website Coneflower Tarot, and I'm Hudson Valley Tarot, which should be easy to remember. You can check out my tarot site, but she had it at her house on Saturday, and she was mentioning in our little chatty thread on Facebook that she had misspelt the word resolution, and she had spelt it resolution, as in your soul, and she thought that should be the theme of our get-together. So we called it our resolution get-together, and we made mood boards, if you will, for our 2014 resolutions. So resolutions to feed our souls. And so I thought I would share it with you. That's kind of why I'm sitting here, but I kind of like the backdrop, so I think I might sit here more often. I wanted to share it with you, and I wanted to encourage you. Resolutions, if you make a list of things that you have to do, you're putting pressure on yourself. But if you record your dreams, your desires, and the words of encouragement that you feel can get you through that, and not in such a way that you feel like you would be a failure if you don't do it, I encourage you to do so. And I have a lovely group of ladies that bring out the best in me, and I hope that you can find people like that, friends of like that. But I wanted to share my board with you because it does involve knitting. I'm also a Reiki practitioner. Let me put it over here. So I found this picture in a Reiki magazine of the heart and the woman in the center in meditation. And one of my things that I want to do more of this year is meditating. And then here on this side is the knitting. I don't know if you could tell, but it's a picture of yarn and knitting. There was actually an article in a Reiki magazine about Reiki and knitting. And this is the Japanese kanji for Reiki. And then this, Reiki and knitting. And then there's some other sayings here. It says on the top, vision, intention, and attitudes. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Love is everything, right? And then over here it says, release the past, embrace the present, and create the life you desire. And kind of this podcast is happening because I just want to do the things that make me happy and not worry about how good I'm doing them or anything. Just do them because they make me happy. This one here says, free your mind from limiting beliefs. And then on the bottom here, it says, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I love that one. So this is my kind of inspiration board for 2014 that I put together with my beautiful friends, my spiritual support groups. And we also, one of the things we do for each other, because we're tarot readers, is we do a little reading about whatever the person needs it. And I actually kind of did a reading for myself about my relationship with money. And I thought I'd show you that. I used it's not a typical tarot deck. It's a very modern one. But I figured I put them on here as well for inspiration, because when I did the reading, I just felt like it was exactly what I needed to hear. And I wanted to share, this deck actually has quotations. And the one thing that really jumped out at me, actually all three of them jumped out at me. So for the Empress, the quotation by Dennis Diderot is, only passions, great passions, can elevate the soul to do great things. And then the other quote by Euripides, this hit home with me. It's not about the money, ladies. It's not about the money and gentlemen. Wealth stays with us a little moment, as if at all. It's only our characters that are steadfast, not our gold. I love that. And then the last one by Latsu is, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. So don't be afraid to change. You know, that's my thing that I have to get over this year, is being afraid to change and putting out my patterns and putting out this podcast. I kind of feel like I'm exposing myself and I'm putting myself out there. I know that a lot of women and men that podcast have gotten some negativity back, and I'm afraid of that. And I've just kind of made that decision. I'm just doing this to be happy. And also Diane of Knittables, I watched her podcast and she said the same thing, and it was just, and this was before Saturday, so it was just like all these signs were coming to me that, you know, we just need to do what makes us happy. Don't stress out so much about the details. Just do what makes you happy. Knit what makes you happy. Don't get pressured into doing things you don't want to do. Do whatever you want to. Oh, and the Homespun podcast, she was saying this, Molly was saying the same thing. My resolution is to knit whatever I want. So take the pressure off, guys. Just knit whatever you want. Have fun with it. And you know what? If you're longing for new stash, rearrange the stash you have and pretend it's all brand new. How good is that? All right, so with that, I'm going to leave you, and hopefully next week I'll have lots of good stuff to share with you about Vogue Knitting Live, and I just want you to go ahead and make your resolutions for your soul this week. Think about what makes your soul happy, and I'll say goodnight because it's time for Downton Abbey. So ciao, ciao for now.